Alrighty, we are back in the craft room. This area I pretty much finished going through. I still have a few things I want to go through, but obviously the cleaner doesn't go up there. This is done for now. I put everything I wanted to sell down here, and I actually listed quite a few items, and I've sold a few items, so that's wonderful. I may use that last shelf for like the holiday things that I've purchased that I don't want to climb up in the attic to put away. So that's what we're going to look at today. So I think I'm going to work on the paints and the glitters, the bulletin board, just kind of everything in this basic area, and just try and find a place. A lot of this process has been picking something up, putting it down, thinking that might look somewhere, look good somewhere, and it doesn't. So as you can see, I still have piles. And that's probably not going to end until I am completely finished with the room, because when you're trying to put stuff away with existing shelves and whatnot, it's a trial and error. You put something, you don't like it, something else fits better. So I think that's what's been so exhausting for me, is just the constant moving things around. So that is what we're doing. A lot of people have commented on the mammoth size of my craft room. It is actually our former 2-car garage, and we originally closed it in to homeschool. This was our homeschooling space. It looked a whole lot different than it does now. And then it became a teen hangout space where they played their video games and had their friends over. And then they grew up and decided they didn't want a teen space anymore. They wanted to move out. My son still lives here, but he would like to move out. So then it reverted to me. And so far I've crapped it up pretty good, don't you think? I actually used to sew and craft out of this closet, the pantry closet. This is where I would sit and sew. My husband put electricity in there so I could sew and do my stuff. So this is my original crafting space. You all have seen my pantry, but I'll show you again. This used to be my craft room right here. And I'm trying to find the electrical socket. It's in there somewhere. My husband ran electricity to it so I could sew, and this was my space. Of course, it looked a lot different than it does now. So just don't feel bad, people that are newly married. I've been married since God was a boy, and it's taken me 20-something years to get this space. So hang in there. Okay, guys, I am going to call it a day. I am exhausted. I ended up going to lunch with my son and his girlfriend, and that was way more important than working on this room, but I just couldn't seem to get it together today. So I'm just going to show you a few things that I've done. Obviously, I've taken some fabric out of the cubbies over here, and I have put it on the shelf, which, of course, I took everything off, I cleaned the shelf, and then I put everything back. I still have this shelf to put some fabric on, but I need to go through it and really sort it. I did go through my sewing supplies, and I have these cute little Martha Stewart refrigerator trays that I was able to utilize, which, because they're clear, I just think it's less visual clutter, even though there's a lot in here. I used one of my Yankee candle jars to store my glue guns, and then I just have all kinds of sewing supplies in them, and the lip glosses, because I get chapped lips all the time, so I like to have that handy. Then I was able to use some of my mason jars in the back. I have my pinking shears, sewing shears, rotary cutters, all-purpose scissors, my turning tools, razor knives, all of my marking devices for either sewing or measuring, or anytime I might need a pencil or disappearing ink, those types of things. Then I have my seam measurers. I have a hole punch, a grommet press, just things like that that easily fit into those jars. I didn't do anything with my thread because it fits here perfectly. I may try to dust, but you see all these loose threads. My luck, I'll end up with spools of thread all over the house. I just put my paper cutter and my laminator on this shelf. I don't know if those will stay there, but they're up and out of the way for the time being. And then on this top shelf, I put all of the projects that I'm working on. I tried to contain them in some of these plastic containers I've had forever. They're really old. And then these are just some other things that I need to finish. So those are all up on top of there. I did declutter a little bit on the top shelf, got rid of a suitcase, moved some stuff around. But like I said, this room has so much that needs to be taken care of that it gets to be very overwhelming to me, and I need to kind of sit down and refocus. So this is going to take me a while. So I hope you like what I've done so far. I will show you a little bit as I trip over my dog. I will show you a little bit of what I did over here. Still working on this area, trying to figure out something to do with the ironing board, but not having any luck. I did put all of my holiday things on this shelf. Like I said, until I can put them away where they belong, that is where they're going to stay. I still have a huge mess on my cutting table, but most of this stuff I know where it's going and what's happening with it. And then here are some items that I priced, ready to go for the yard sale. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting little things here and there. And please subscribe if you have not, and I will see you tomorrow in my next video.